The second component of our quadratics is looking at equation formats. The three general formats that you should know for quadratics is the general form of an equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where each of those letters, A, B, and C, represent a coefficient for a value in the equation. Standard form means we have ax squared plus bx equals c. And of course, it's easy to move from standard form to general form. All we would have to do is to subtract the c value over to get it set equal to 0. And then we have the vertex form of an equation, which is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And we know that the values h and k represent the vertex, x and y, in the vertex of the parabola. And one of the skills that you would need to know is to know how to change from one of these equation formats to the other. And so that's what we're going to go over today in this video, is how to change from one equation format to the other. So the toughest to do is vertex to one or the other. So that's what we're going to work on first, is going from general form, which, as we said, it's easy to go from standard to general. So we're going to use going from general or standard to the vertex form first. So that's the first technique that we're going to look at. So from general and I'm going to put in here standard, because that's basically the same thing, to vertex form. That's what we're going to go over first. In order to do this, we're going to use a value that's called x equals negative b over 2a. And the b represents the b value in the equation, and the a represents the a value in the equation. So that's where we're getting our numbers from when we are trying to find that particular number. So let's look at an example. We have the equation negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. And we want to write that equation in vertex form. So the first thing that we do is to find the a and the b values and plug it into that formula to find x. So the opposite of b, so b is 4, so that means I'm going to have negative 4. And 2 times a, so a is negative 2, so that's going to be 2 times negative 2. And now we do the computations, and so we get negative 4 over negative 4, which is going to give us a positive 1 for the x value. Now once we find that value, we're going to take that answer and plug it into the equation. So we're going to substitute that answer into the equation. So we're going to take the 1, negative 2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 minus 3 and see what answer that we get. And instead of 0, we're going to put a y there because that's what we're hunting for, is what is the y going to be. So 1 squared is 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 4 times 1 is 4. And then we just have the negative 3. And then negative 2 plus 4 is 2. And 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 1. So that means that we get the vertex point of the x being 1 and the y being negative 1. And we're going to use that vertex point to plug into our vertex equation. Now, one other point to note is we have an a, and the a we also have in our general equation. Even though it's capital, it's still an a. So if we have an a value in our given equation, it's going to be the same a value in our vertex equation. So just to make a note of that the capital A equals the little a in the vertex equation. So they have the same value. So we're going to plug in the values now. So we get y equals, so the a value was negative 2 times x minus 1 squared, and the y is minus 1. So there is our vertex equation. All right, our second example is to go from vertex to general form. And that's usually not too difficult. So an example would be 3 times x minus 2 squared minus 4. In order to continue, we would multiply. So when we square, of course that means that we're multiplying x minus 2 times x minus 2. So we want to do that square first. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is negative 2x. 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. And then we still have the negative 4 there on the end. And then we have all of that multiplied by 3. So then we have like terms inside of there. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 with a minus 4 on the outside. Now we multiply by 3 to distribute. 3x squared minus 12x plus 12 minus 4. We can drop the parentheses now. And we combine like terms again. So we have 12 minus 4, which makes 8. 3x squared minus 12x plus 8. And that is going to equal our y or our 0, either one that you want to think of. And that's how we change from vertex to general form. So it's pretty easy to go from general to vertex or vertex to general if we use those simple steps.